Hey guys, Off the Mic Sports Network here. Another edition of Off the Top Rope coming at you right after Money in the Bank. A heck of a show. Certainly a lot of things happen on this show. I was getting ready to come on here and, kind of hammer WWE for some of the decisions and the choices that they made in this show. Like I said, large chunk, pretty decent wrestling. Right women's Money in the Bank winner, wrong men's Money in the Bank winner. Believe me, we'll get to that later, but we need to talk about the main event because nobody wanted to see this. Nobody wanted to see this match. John Cena and Logan Paul teaming up against Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. And believe me, after the men's Money in the Bank match, everybody was like, man, they better do something big because they kicked a lot of people in the nuts with the decision to not go with LA Knight and go with Seth Rollins, given everything that happened. And believe me, we will talk about that later on. So the match itself was fine. And then it really picked up near the back half of the match. And then all of a sudden, John Cena hits Cody Rhodes, much like the match at WrestleMania, hits Cody Rhodes with the belt, with the WWE title. And you think, oh boy, here we go again. Cody's going to lose again, even though I thought Cody and Jey were going to win this match, just because how else were we going to get to Cody Rhodes, John Cena 2, which I think is the end destination. We'll probably do that at Saturday night's main event next month. And then all of a sudden, a man in a hoodie shows up and spears John Cena. And I was looking at it and I was like, man. And my sister turned to me and said, man, that's a black man. And I'm like, could that be R-Truth? And then the hood comes off. Freaking the roof probably blew off of Intuit Dome because they were chanting "We Were R-Truth" the whole time. R-Truth is back in WWE. I don't know if this was some sort of an elaborate work or if in the span of the last 6 days, WWE realized we fucked up and we pissed off a lot of people and we need to bring R-Truth back into WWE in some capacity, some way, shape, or form. Because clearly we pissed off a lot of people, including our own locker room. For R-Truth to be the reason that this match ended, that was not on my bingo card. I thought Seth might cash in, he might fail, CM Punk might screw him over, and we might be, and still that may happen. And again, we will talk about the dynamics of that later. This is one of the most shocking premium live event endings since CM Punk showed up 2 years ago. I will go ahead and say that right away. I did not see this coming. I was ready to move off of this, and I was like, I even said it here on this channel. I was like, you guys are overreacting. R-Truth, they spoke their minds, and they basically were like, hey, we don't have value for you in WWE. So whether this was an elaborate work in terms of which, I kind of doubt, just knowing I think what this was is we saw what happened. We had the We Want Truth thing. We had the We Want Cody thing. Triple H is like many of us, chronically online. He saw the reaction and he said, fuck it, let's just bring R-Truth back into this company. And so for him to be the reason John Cena lost this match, and R-Truth was very serious, he was attacking, and maybe that makes you wonder, hey, did John Cena know when he worked the audience at SmackDown last night saying, you guys can't handle the truth? So when the We Want Truth chants had been going on, like I said, it's crazy what happened and to even fathom that this happened, because 6-7 days ago, we're looking around saying, holy shit, R-Truth's gone and he entertained us for 17 years. What the fuck is WWE doing? And I was telling you guys were just overreacting and being a bunch of marks. But to do this at the end of a premium live event really says a lot. And it was a great reaction. I was genuinely shocked. Like, I haven't been this surprised at a conclusion or at a result of a match or just something in general on WWE television in a while. It really hasn't been a while. This is as surprised as I've been since that moment in November of 2023 when CM Punk came back to WWE. I did not see this coming. And if you honestly in your mind, even if you were one of these marks who basically had been chanting We Want Truth and thought this might actually happen, you had no fucking idea that this was actually going to come to fruition. So I don't know what this leads to, and if they even have a remote idea of a plan for Ron Killings moving forward, R-Truth, what they're going to do. If they're going to drop the whole, gimmick and stuff of him being a goofball and actually make him serious. But man, this would have never happened under Vince McMahon. This would have never happened. So all you people trying to criticize Triple H, and I know some idiots on the internet are basically like saying, man, they used a firing storyline when a bunch of other people got fired. Listen, like I said, I'm irritated that some of the other people got released, like a Dakota Kai, and there's some other people on the list that I can't even remember. But this R-Truth one really hit home. And I noticed that throughout the week. And yes, I was a little bit annoyed that even during some matches, people were losing their shit. And it was getting crazy on the internet. I was like, man, this is a little bit weird. But man, like I said, Money in the Bank, main event. And R-Truth is the reason John Cena lost. That was a huge spot in this thing, and to generate the kind of reaction. And if you look at social media, nobody saw that coming. So I give a ton of credit to WWE for reading the room and basically being like, hey, we fucked up. We fucked up. This happened. Who knows? Maybe it turns out to be an elaborate work. And, in some ways, maybe they did work the audience because, hey, I don't know when this decision was made, when they decided to bring R-Truth back in. But it's very clear that at some point this week, this was decided. And if it happened today, it's just crazy how show business and stuff and wrestling works, man. But man, I'm sitting here doing this video, and I was sitting next to my sister watching this. I debated going live. I wish I would have, because it's just you never know what's gonna fucking happen at any of these shows. And again, it's a reflection of I understand that a lot of people are irritated with TKO. And there was a lot over this show that was a little bit ridiculous. There was sponsors all over the place. You had a Fireball sponsored ladder, which was dumb. You've had a Slim Jim table in the last day. There's a lot of bullshit. And, I wanted to go to this show, Money in the Bank, but it was like $300 just to get in. So, but, to listen to your audience who had been chanting frantically and very loudly at multiple shows, we want truth, and to bring him back when the rumors were that, hey, he might go to TNA, hey, and a lot of the, discussion around WWE was not great. So to have him not only return, but in the main event of a premium live event involving John Cena in his final year, whoever made this decision, good for you, man. This shows that WWE, even though it may not appear as that, does care about their fans. They do. And I'll be the first one to admit it. Listen, I was hey, it's not the end of the world that R-Truth was released. But I could see that, hey, it clearly registered home. And I said it sucked. But yeah, to make this decision and to do this in the manner that they did, to shock really the system and really all of the professional wrestling industry, to bring back Ron Killings after they had released him after 17, 18 years in the company. Just like I said, nobody had that on their bingo card. Everybody was expecting, hey, why is this match that we didn't want to see in the main event of Money in the Bank? Are they going to do a cash in because they have two world champions in this match? Is Seth going to cash in? Is Roman going to show up? Is Punk going to cost him? And like I said, we'll get into the dynamics of why I love that that men's Money in the Bank match, but I hated the decision that they went with. Everybody was expecting that to happen. So for R-Truth to be the one to end that match and just create one of the more shocking moments in professional wrestling history. Again, credit to WWE for reading the room, man. This is the second noteworthy time in the last 2 years that they have seen the audience be outraged at a decision that they made that was not popular. And they have changed their minds a week later and gone with the right decision. So again, this is all you people just trying to clamor and say, man, we want the Vince McMahon era back. That was way better than what TKO does. I challenge you to say that with a straight face now. Because again, this is the second very public decision that they have made to go with a popular decision and go against with what they initially did. And I understand it was not a firing. They let him go. They did not renew his contract. But this is stunning. This is absolutely fucking stunning. So Again, credit to Triple H, credit to everybody within that building for reading the room, understanding the fans, controlling the narrative, and doing this. And whatever this turns out to be, who cares? This is fucking awesome. Great to have R-Truth back in the company. Anyway, I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.